What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing is 5 things that I hate about my lifted 1996 old body style F-150. Last time I did a video like this, it made the whole internet hate me. So I figure I should probably do another one now that the truck is done, so the internet can hate me again. So first thing that I hate about this truck, actually I'll give you guys a little bit of backstory on what we have done to it. So it has a 9-inch lift, 38-inch tires. Those are so 38-inch tires, 15-inch rims. They're 10 wide rims, negative 43 offset. So just in case you guys were wondering, that's how much poke you get on a 10 wide with a negative 43 offset. So or how much stance, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, that's that. It has a bed liner paint job. I got a whole bunch of videos of that if you guys want to go watch that. I posted one earlier this week on how to maintain it and what to do and what not to do, because I learned firsthand what not to do. So I have a video on that if you want to see. It's got a ranch hand bumper on the front. Pretty much this whole thing's been restored. Bodywork wise, the whole thing's been restored. The only thing that hasn't been really replaced on this truck is the engine, and it has 66,000 miles on it, so it's still very early on in its life. It has a rebuilt transmission, probably like, I don't know, 13,000 miles ago. So yeah, alrighty. So first thing that I hate about this truck is these freaking gas fillers. All right. I don't know, I've heard people say this all the time, but you go to fill these things and you got to have like the nozzle either hanging all the way out or like half out or whatever, because it doesn't like to fill it. It'll keep stopping on you. So that's one of the things that I hate. It's kind of a pain in the ass. Really not a big deal, but it doesn't do it as much on the rear tank, pretty much mostly on the front tank. It just doesn't really like to let gas in it. All right, so number 2 thing that I hate about this truck, or just these trucks in general, is the TTB front end. I absolutely hate it. It rips through ball joints like crazy, and it just is not easy to work on and stuff like that. It's just a pain in the ass. So that's number 2. The TTB front end is a freaking pain in the ass. It also, they don't really ever align right either. I don't know anybody that could get a perfect alignment on a TTB with a lift on it, so they're just shitty. I haven't had any major issues with it, don't get me wrong, but just all the little issues together just kind of make me hate that front axle. In general, it's just kind of, they should have just put a solid axle in it, basically, from the factory. Like the Dodges from that same era on the 1500s had a solid axle. I don't know why Ford just couldn't do the same, and they had to give us this shitty excuse for a front axle, but that's what they do. It's plenty strong. Like, I haven't broken it yet on these 38s, but I mean, it's just kind of stupid. I mean, Dodge gave us a solid axle. I believe Chevy had independent. I don't think they had a solid axle, but yeah, Ford should have just put a solid axle in it. Anyway, I know the 350s have solid axles, and I think some of the 250s might, but anyway, that's number 2. Also, another thing about the TTVs is you can really only lift them 6 inches before you have to start actually modifying the TTB. So it's not like other trucks and stuff where you can just get longer components and whatever else. This thing, you basically have to get a completely different axle to lift it higher than 6 inches, because you can if you get these brackets longer. All right, there's these brackets and there's a bracket in there that you can get them longer. There's only one kit that I know of made by Skyjacker that actually is an actual 9-inch kit, but once you start doing stuff like that, it just throws everything all out of whack. So yeah. So number 3 is going to be this rear bumper. Now this thing is, I mean, it's pretty thin metal. and it twists pretty easy. So they have these toe these spots right here where you're, you know, supposed to hook up like your chains and stuff for your trailer or stuff like that. But if you try to pull from these, you kind of bend your bumper. So it's not really the strongest bumper in the world. It could be, if it was a little bit thicker, it would have a whole lot more rigidity to it. Like you can tell mine's, it's a little bit twisted. So it's not really a big deal, and it's something that you can easily swap out, but also the way that they mount it is dumb. Obviously, mine's raised up, because I had to do that to make it look how it's supposed to. But just the way that they mount this, these brackets are they're just flimsy. I mean, they're not flimsy brackets, like they hold up, like you can move the whole truck with them, but I just wish they kind of had thought of some better way to do it. Like in the back, or in the front of the truck, the way that they mount the bumpers in the front is perfect. And if they could have thought of something like this, you just got these things on the frame rail right here, and you guys can't even really see it. Here, you just got this hole and this hole, which now it's this hole and this hole because of the body lift, but the way that they mount the bumper in the front is just way better, because you can see here's the bumper, and you just drill it in with these 2 bolts, and it's there. And in the back, it's got just all these brackets that need to be loosened and tightened and whatever else to make it fit right. So yeah, not a big fan of how they mounted the rear bumpers on these things. You know, now I'm kind of running out of stuff that I don't like. I've found 3 things that I don't like about this truck, and now I'm kind of at a loss for things that I don't like about it, because honestly, I really don't have a whole lot of issues with it. Things have been very reliable for the amount of time that I've had it for the last 4 years, and not a whole lot has really, I don't know, pissed me off about it. It's just been a pretty good truck. But I guess number 4 would be that you can see the tail light up there, see the red up there. Alright, so they didn't really block it off very good, and they should have had something over this, because mud pretty much shoots right up in there. And once I took my, because believe it or not, I mean, I know the truck's clean right now, but it does go off-road. And when we were doing all this work to it, doing the paint job and everything else, and actually, it looks like I'm finally getting a little bit of condensation under this sticker, which is interesting. I might have to redo these at some point. I'm surprised, honestly, that they've lasted this long on here. But I took this off, and there was literally mud just like all inside it. And there's really no good way to clean that unless you take the light out. So I guess that'd be number 4. If you're gonna go mudding with your truck, you're gonna get mud up in there, and really that's gonna start rusting all of this out. So keep that in mind. But I guess that'd be number 4, just that a lot of stuff gets up in there and it's really hard to get it out unless you take the lights out. So now number 5 is not really a problem with how the truck was made. I mean, I guess it kind of is, but it's more of that there's really not a whole lot of aftermarket stuff for this truck. So obviously, yeah, you can get bumpers and stuff like that. You can get steering stabilizers and stuff like that, like I have. There's this skid plate, okay, right here, that holds on. It's pretty much the mount for the sway bar. So you have that, but there are no skid plates anywhere else on this truck, and as far as I know, there's, well, no big name companies that make skid plates for these trucks. You can see the transfer case is kind of the lowest part of the underneath of the truck, and there's no skid plate for that, which they really should have put one. And just stuff like that. There's just really no skid plate for that. There's no skid plate for the transmission, and on a lot of new vehicles they do that kind of thing, and I guess back in '96 it wasn't something that they really did all that often. I'm not really sure, but all I know is that I don't have one, so it'd be really sweet for if the aftermarket could start making stuff for these trucks. That would be pretty awesome, because, well, there's really not a whole lot of aftermarket accessories for these trucks as it is when it comes to skid plates or Nerf steps or whatever, which I wouldn't put them on this truck anyway because that's going to lower my ground clearance, but stuff like that, skid plates and whatever else, like armor for the front of the diffs and stuff like that would be pretty sweet, but they don't really make stuff like that, so, which kind of sucks. But it's really not like I was saying, it's not a problem with Ford and how they made the truck back then. It's more of that the aftermarket kind of hasn't been playing to the old body style Ford crowd very much, which, I mean, I don't know why, because they'd probably make a lot of money, because there's a million of these trucks out there and there's a million people that are modifying them. So I don't know, I guess that's kind of it. That's the fifth thing that I really don't like about the truck. It was really hard to come up with 5 things, as you guys can probably see, because I mean, I really don't have 5 things that I hate about it. Those 5 things are just kind of things that I wish were a little bit different, but it's not really even things that I hate, honestly. I don't really hate anything about the truck, which is probably crazy to some of you, because I'm pretty sure some of you could look at this truck and be like, God damn, there's plenty of things I hate about it, but I don't know. Anyway, guys, if you want to see more of this truck, we got off-roading videos, we got the whole build blog, we got all that kind of stuff, and all that stuff is on my channel. So if you would like to, leave a like on this video, subscribe down below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you all for watching. Also, if you guys have any ideas on videos you'd like for me to make, I could do 5 things that I like about the truck. That'd probably be a whole lot easier than 5 things that I don't like about the truck. I was also trying to keep it different. Like I said, this is the second time I've done this video. I did it back when the truck was on a little lift with little tires and wasn't done. You know, it was pretty much right when I got the truck. Well, I didn't make the video when I got the truck, but I made the video when the truck still looked like it did when I got the truck. I hadn't started modifying it yet, so I was trying to leave out a lot of those things that I said in that video. So these are 5 new things. If you want to see the 5 old things, like I said, the internet hated me for making that video, so I figured I'd just go ahead and make another one and make the internet hate me again. So yeah, alrighty.